So it's the morning of the 6th day, and I just came down here on the creek just to check it out. Brought my breakfast with me, and just looking to see if there's any decent fish in the creek. Hi, I'm Jim Lowe, and welcome to High Country Chronicles Knives and Gears. This High Country Chronicle is day 6 in our journey through the California Golden Trout Country. Today is a fishing day. We've spent the night on this high country lake close to Mount Whitney. It's supposed to have large golden trout. So far, the beta that we've been given on the lake is a little different than what we've experienced. So we came up here expecting there to be fewer fish than where we were earlier in the trip, but on average larger. And the reality is that the numbers seem to be pretty much the same, but the average size seems to be smaller. So this seems to be one of those places that has a decent fish population, maybe a decent amount of very large fish. Well, we'll find out. I spent the morning taking breakfast on the lower lake just to sort of check things out, see, check out the outflow creek and see if there were any cruising fish, that sort of thing. Saw very few cruising fish. There were a few fish cruising the ledges. Most of them were tiny. The largest one I think I saw was maybe 10 inches. So in addition to a fishing day, it's also a bathing day. So it's pretty warm right now. There's no wind or little wind. I'm going to take advantage of that, go out to the beach we found yesterday and have myself a little bath, wash my clothes a bit, and then I'll start fishing. Now we're starting to run low on electronics, so there may not be as much footage today. I really kind of want to save a lot of the battery power for tomorrow's trip, since we've got to trek out of here tomorrow, and then we're trekking into another lake. Of course, as I'm heading out to the beach, if I see any cruising fish, I'm going to cast to them. Roger's starting his fishing at the lower lake today, and then he's going to work his way up around on the camp side of the lake. I'm going to fish where we were last night, and then make my way around to the inlet. And this is the beautiful lake that we're on. I'm going to go down and bathe at that beach, and then work my way back this way, eventually making my way over to that inlet on the far side. There's another lake below here, which you can't see, and that's where Roger started his day. Now, bathing and clothes washing in the backcountry is a funny thing. You can never get the smell totally out and totally gone. When I get home from a trip, I really need like a 20-25 minute hot shower, scrub myself down 3 different times before I smell human again. Actually, I guess when you don't bathe, you probably smell the most human that you ever do, right? But yeah, nobody in this day and age appreciates that. Okay, I am all done. Wet clothes hanging in the bushes. Got this jacket on. It's actually probably warm enough that I don't need the jacket. I'm going to start fishing down that way where Roger was yesterday, and then again head back that way and then around. And yeah, you're going to have to deal with me shirtless or nearly shirtless, either until it gets cold enough for me to zip up this jacket or my shirt dries. Okay, the water over here looks pretty much the same as what we were seeing yesterday. Roger was fishing over by that rock. Hopefully it's deeper. Looks like there's a fish that rose there. I'm not going to fish this shallow water, so it may be a pretty quick move on my part. Roger is already on the far side of the lake, so yeah, that kind of tells you what he's thinking about the fishing prospects on the lower lake. But there's small fish that are hitting the surface. As I said, I left my clothes on a rock. I left my cane rod with the clothes which means that I've got the sinking line with me. That does put me at a disadvantage if I come across a large, shallow cruising fish. Kind of marshy and mucky over here, but that's what the waders are for. Okay. This is the rock that Roger was fishing from yesterday. It does look a little deeper. Yeah, a little deeper. Not dropping off as quickly as I would like, but I'll make about a half dozen casts here before I move. Okay, I finally hooked into a fish. Of course, I have nowhere to put the camera. Let's see. I'm gonna do this. Where do I get off? Right here. Not a bad fish. 13 inches maybe. I'll have to measure how wide the net is. Crocs aren't the best things to climb with. Okay, that was cool. I had seen a fish cruising here, and while I had my line out, and as I stripped it in, it turned for it, and it rejected it, or it took and I didn't feel the take. And I was just about to make my last cast. I've only made about 5 at that point, and right on the edge of that drop, the fish was sitting there and nailed it. So I'll try a few more casts before picking up and leaving. So I came up on this high ledge, and it's really interesting. I got a pretty good viewpoint and sight into the water, and what I could see, and this is kind of what I knew was happening, but a lot of these fish, since I'm fishing such a slow retrieve, they're following behind the fly, and they're just sort of picking up and cruising in the same direction as I'm retrieving. And so, you know, I'm not really feeling a strike. What I'm feeling is like a heaviness on the line, and then I have to strike. And in this instance, it was a perfect example. I could clearly see a fish at the end of my line, and I couldn't see my fly. So I did a quick little tug to see if it was on, and sure enough, you know, as soon as I tugged, it turned to the left and threw the hook. So, yep, so that just means that, you know, whenever my retrieve feels strange, then I need to set the hook. And that should, I mean, that's the case whenever you're fishing, but that's been especially the case over these last couple days while I've been using, you know, this really slow retrieve. Here's a cruising fish. I came across another cruising fish a minute ago, and I was able to get that one. I didn't take video of it because, frankly, without the hat cam, it's hard to navigate this stuff. Let's see if he's close enough Where did he go? There he is. And he spooked. Oh, but he's gonna come back? Okay. It's a little silly. I need to figure something out. Oh, that's spooky. Okay. So if I can get out way in front of him. The other one wasn't as spooky. Okay. He's probably on it. He's on it. Yes. Okay, a lot of shaky cam there, but we got it. And I dropped my net back when I saw the fish. Okay, so let me put this down. Not bad. Another 12-inch fish, I guess. Maybe 13. Okay. So, I'm really hot right now. You're gonna see, even with my shirt off, starting to bake in the sun. So, if hopefully my other shirt's still wet, I'll put that on. It'll cool me off. I said I wasn't going to be filming too much, and I do mean that. I've only got like 12% battery left. So I filmed that because I thought it might be cool to see, you know, sight fishing. And I didn't do it for the other one. The other one was about the same size. Anyway, so I'll turn the camera off for now. Grab my stuff, and if I pick up a fish that's you know, bigger than what I've caught so far, then I'll film it. Okay, I've got my slightly damp icebreaker 150 shirt on. Slightly damp and extremely refreshing. It's amazing how hot it can get up here when the sun's up and there's no wind. So yeah, I've got the rest of my wet clothes strapped to the back of my pack, and I'm just gonna hit spots until I get over there to Roger. It looks like Roger's picking up fish. No idea what size they are. Now this one is pretty classically the colors that you would expect for golden trout. So I'm basically getting a strike on every cast, or every other cast, and yeah, and not getting a good hook set. So again, they're swimming at me. I should probably recast. So maybe I'll slow it down. See, there was probably a fish on that. So the wind's picked up, which is good to keep me cool. Maybe not so good for the fishing. We'll see. It's making it a little bit difficult to cast out. I don't know. I've lost count of how many fish I've lost. And you know, it's funny. Every time, with every lost fish with a really big tug, you know, you feel that big tug. You just wonder, could that be the one? Could that be the 22-inch fish? Okay, I got sick of missing fish, so this time I struck real hard and I pulled that little guy off. Okay, time to move on, I think. It's about 11:30 and I'm gonna head over to where Roger is. That inlet's got me really intrigued. The fishing this morning has been good, but it's also been frustrating. It's been, landing every, every third or fourth fish that I've hooked. So challenging to get a good hook set when the fish are that deep. I've got to try something different. I think I'm going to try the hook set initiated from the butt as opposed to the tip and see if that does any good. I'm about halfway to the outlet, and I was talking earlier about that being Whitney. Maybe that's not Whitney. I think that's Mount Russell, and that just might be a spire. Whitney might be behind that. Not 100% sure. Either the wind has picked up or it's definitely breezier on this side of the lake. Okay, Roger must be getting into some good fish for this area to hold his interest for so long. So apparently Roger's been keeping himself busy fishing some weeds and picking up bigger fish than what we've been seeing so far. I'd be curious to know if he's fishing the scud or if he's fishing the stillwater nymph. Okay, not as dramatic as I thought the outlet was going to be, but still cool to get here. It took about 30 minutes to get here from, Roger's got another fish, from the other side of the lake. Roger is fishing a weed bed and apparently getting larger fish than we've seen previously. Okay, I want to eat lunch, but I keep seeing Roger catch fish, so I'm going to make a couple casts to his left. He's already fished it. Let's see if I pick up anything. So I came out here and joined Roger on his weed bed. I think I went like 2 for 10 fish here, like just ridiculous number of fish that I'm missing. But now it looks like something's going on. Yeah, we've got, oh wow, we've got rising fish everywhere now. They're right under the surface, they're porpoising. So it's probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and fishing has pretty much been the same, pretty much consistent. Roger's topped out at 16 inches. I've topped out at probably 13. We're still looking for a different kind of water, bigger fish. The wind has picked up, which has almost made it a necessity to move to find some better water to fish. So it's 2 o'clock and I'm just casting the fish that I see that are cruising the bank. Most of them are in the 12-inch range. He's a hot fish. I don't think he's very big though. Not very big at all. Bigger than he... he wants to be big. Got him. Okay. Not a very big fish, but a nice one nonetheless. Nice fat 12-incher. Roger's into a fish on his little Phillipson rod. So we're finding these rocks are a really good place to find fish. Great. It's not a bad fish.
15, 12.
Chunky. Okay, that's bigger than I thought it was. There's a guy out there providing data about this lake that's saying that you cannot circumvent it, that it's not passable. This is definitely passable, so you can definitely fish your way around the lake. We've just done it. Well, thus ends day 6. It was a great day of fishing. The lake didn't live up to our expectations. We caught plenty of fish. We caught plenty of good-sized Goldens. Just not the 22-inch fish that we thought might be in here. Now there might be a better time of year to come and pick up those fish, maybe at the end of the season when they're super hungry, or early in the season when they're close to spawning. But you know, for our experience today, we just didn't see them. So yeah, overall though, we fished it hard. We had a good day. We had lots of fun. And tomorrow's another adventure. If you've watched to this point, thank you for that. Hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for coming along.
The hills are calling, where the lakes are my home. Leave the stress behind, find peace in my mind. With the still water flowing, lines I'm throwing. Loneliness is not here, there is life everywhere.